Johnny Steffensen. You know
Does-
I'm a very intelligent man. However, technology, probably not one of them.
No, it's not my strong suit, brother. I saw you struggling your way there. I was like, better him
Were
than
you,
me.
were you laughing?
I was more concerned.
Oh, you were not. That's a complete lie. That's an utter complete lie. Mate, thank you so much. This is our week 3 of Buy Aussie Now. And of
Yeah.
course, most Australians will know you as that very fast man in those very tight shorts, which got lots of press coverage at the time, may I add. But mate, you've gone on to create an extraordinary entrepreneurial business career in your own right. If we just go back to the sporting days and, you know, your gold medals and your, you know, extraordinary silver medal at the Sydney Olympics in front of a home crowd, when did you decide, or when did you start thinking that you were about to having to transition into your next stage of life? And how did you go about preparing for that?
Uh, that's a really good question. I think it was more how I chose to be in my career. I knew that if I didn't pave my own way, nothing was going to be handed to me because I chose
hard work. That's right.
I chose to take on the establishment right at the time and question what I felt was the inequalities of federated sport. And I was really blessed. I got banned for 6 months after speaking out on racism and equality in 2012. And I got banned for 6 months for doing that. And luckily enough, I was able to do the show Celebrity Apprentice. And that show was really awesome for me because it gave me the confidence to believe that what I learned from my professional sport, I could take that into business. And the show, as much as a TV show, you still learn a hell of a lot of skills working with Mark Boris, who was the
King of business. Yep.
king of business and the boss at the time, and then being around other, you know, people that were celebrated in different fields that were in the show. It gave me the confidence to go, you know, I can do this. And I think that was the pivotal point for me where I knew that I had one more sort of year left in running. I really wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I knew that I had to sort of, I didn't want to work for anybody. And I knew if I didn't want to work for somebody, I had to create my own path. And similar to running, I'm at my infancy in this now with business. And I have to work really hard, and I surround myself around really, really good people. And you're one of them, which I've surrounded myself with, to learn off of and to, same I did my running. I didn't know how to become an Olympian until I put myself around the best coach in the world and the best athletes in the world. And it just ended up rubbing off. And I was able to overachieve in my sport and win medals and actually make a living out of my sport, which is awesome. And hence why I'm now trying to start in startups, and I really enjoy the ups and downs that entrepreneurial startups give you, right? Similar to running, you don't just make it to the Olympics. You win races, you lose races, you get injured, and you're believing that you're going to achieve something that 1% of the world achieves in your event every 4 years. So you've got to be pretty delusional and naive. But through hard work and dedication, and like I said, surrounding yourself around very good people, I'm very confident in my ability that I'll be able to achieve something.
So when you finished Celebrity Apprentice, which of course was almost like the new John, because people hadn't seen you for a long time, and you use that platform. So we all have something that we use to drive our brand. So for us, of course, it was the fact that, you know, it's about time the bloody Australians bought Australia. And that's sort of really how this sparked at a time when, you know, things are pretty tough, and in the same way you picked something. So what was your first venture, and how have you used those skills to continue to be involved in growing startup businesses, which is, as I know right now, it's a bloody hard thing to do. So how do you keep going and keep trying to build and continue to grow?
My first venture post-sport was in a company called Top Juice, and I owned a store, and we had a really successful store in Melbourne Central. And I think that was a really humbling experience for me because I was forever a selfish athlete, and you can't run a business that way. You're working with, you know, I had a lot of staff, and you're dealing with center management, and you're dealing with produce, and you're dealing with our head office. And I knew the owner of the business, and that's how I got into the business. And I learned a really valuable lesson on your consumer. and what your consumer wants and how to relate to your consumer as a business owner. I also learned the disconnect between head office and a franchisee and how important that is, especially when you have a product, and that really the consumer has really all the power. And you have to really make sure that you're listening to your consumer, listening to what the market wants, and being able to deliver on that. And you're one bad away from that happening or that not working out. So that was a really big lesson for me through that period of time. And it was a crash course because I worked in the store religiously. I just would put a cap on. It was really
I know. I saw you there.
Because I went from being, running in front of
superstar celebrity
to then floors. It was good. It was cool. And I recommend it to anybody. If you own a business, get involved, get your hands dirty. It's the best way. And everyone says it, but it's a hard thing because your ego really sometimes has to sort of take a bit of a hit. But I actually miss it, to be honest with you. I really do miss. I had heaps of fun.
Well, if you want to come and clean my floors, I'll give you my address.
I'll use Bondi Soap to clean your floors, bro.
Good. We'll get to Bondi Soap in a sec. One of the, I guess that reality check that you talked about, but one of the things that strikes me about you is having known you for a long time, you're completely as you are. You never change. You're the same kind person, but you do go with your gut on a lot of things. You think about, is this the right? We all get the question: should I do this? Should I do this? And you often go with your gut. Can you talk us through? We all have to make decisions every day, particularly in business. How important is for a better word, your gut in terms of the decisions that you make? Your gut, your heart.
It's nuts, right? I have no business degree. I never went to university. I managed to get it. I did my HSC. I was blessed. I went to a good private school, which I think really shaped me as a young man and gave me, I guess, the confidence to know that I'm well equipped with my academics. But I have no business being in business. But my gut feeling, like we're running, I've always been a massive believer in trusting my instinct and trusting myself. And with hard work and dedication, and again, the right team around you, something good has to come out of that venture. And you'll learn something from that venture, which takes you on to the next venture. And you have to keep going that way. If you don't do that and you stop at the first venture, you will fail. Like it's inevitable. And
correct.
All their memes about success is not a straight line, it's a squiggly line. Unfortunately, it's freaking true, right? So, that's probably been my biggest strength is I'm also not scared to be vulnerable in business. And I'm not, because I was vulnerable as an athlete. I was vulnerable with the people I trusted to say, I don't know this. And you had a dem on last week, and he's one guy that I really trust. And I've had many a conversation. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I actually can tell him, I don't know what I'm doing. And he would say, that's good that you can admit that. And
totally.
You would go to a place of finding a solution. And again, putting yourself around people that can help you for where you're deficient in your business knowledge. So, but no, the gut feeling thing, I don't know I can't say where I got it from, but I guess we've all experienced it in our lives. Our gut never really lies to us, right? We can't lie to anyone else. So what you want to get out of a situation, and then you have to be the person making the final decision and believe in it. Once you believe in it, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. As long as you believe in it, you're pretty much there, because it's up to you now to drive it and convince people that what your vision is and the effort you're putting in, it'll come into fruition, and we'll tell you that.
So going with your gut, what was it about Bondi Soap that was your gut winning feeling?
It was just a good friend of mine that was harping on me on this brand, and I loved the name. I really did love the name, and I just was busy at the time, and he was harping. I'm big on, again, that feeling and that gut feeling, and I just loved the name, and I just thought, it's such an iconic name. I loved the brand. I loved what it stood for, and it was a moment where I got an offer that I couldn't refuse, and I bought the business, sat and did nothing with it because I did not know what to do with it. I didn't know how to scale the business. But I knew the brand was good. I knew I liked the style of the bottle. I liked the name. I thought it's really iconic with Australia. I thought it should hit with the international market. People love taking a bit of Australia back with them, and it's such an iconic place in Sydney. I thought there's just no way in the world that there's something good has to come out of this, no matter what it is. Whether it is I have free soap in my house for the rest of my life.
You haven't sent me any for a while. Could you? I'll give you my address.
But you don't have to be sick. You can just come get it. So
I can just come and get it. That's true.
So it's just, that was probably it for me. And you know, I have some really good news. You know, today we finalized the sale of it. Today.
You finalized what?
Finalized the sale of Bondi Soap, which I'll be working heavily in today.
There you go.
Yeah. Really awesome, bro, with an Australian company called Pentel, which make Huggies and White
Amazing.
King.
Breaking news. You just gave us an exclusive, Johnny Steffensen. Look at you. You know how to work that media, don't you?
There's a lot like exclusives for you, Mitch. You taught me well. So
all over it.
It's again, my gut feeling was right, which then catapults me into, someone said to me, you must be happy. And it's a weird thing for me. I never want to get complacent. I was like, yeah, it is. But now we've got to grow the brand. I want to work really hard in growing the brand. Hence the reason why you and I are talking. It's a great Australian brand. I think it can offer the consumer a lot, in the sense of we really try to target the market where you got Aesop, which is a really high end, really expensive. So we really wanted to be in the middle where people could feel that a little bit of elegance at a price point that they could afford in their home, and add a bit of style. And that was really something I really wanted to achieve, because I grew up with nothing, man. I remember when Stan Smith's shoes came out, I couldn't afford them. Well, I could afford them, but it wasn't cool at the time. They were $30 at Copper Sports in Sydney, and now you pay $160 for them. Like, it's so crazy, but that's how I always grew up, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Yes, totally.
So now with consumer, I love to be able to do that and give them the experience that they can afford. And that they can feel proud of, and hence the name and everything. So yeah, it's really, really cool, man. I dig it. We're really trying to grow the brand now. We're excited about it, and we'll be bigger product range and stuff like that. So hopefully it can be in a home near you soon. And
Totally.
yeah, we can have another conversation about, because it is important, man. Growing Australian brands, we're seeing now with everything that we've gone through, the importance of how to sustain the Australian economy. It's so important, man. Each country looking after themselves. We got to get to a point where we can be sustainable on our own. And
100%.
Doing stuff like you're doing, Mitch, which I commend you on, and you've always been an innovator. That's what makes you you, and that's why I think we gravitate towards one another, because we love pushing the boundaries. We love denying the odds and defying the odds. Sorry, and
a bit of denying as well.
Do this stuff. You got to show a bit of ignorance on some things, right? But to an extent. So yeah, man. Like look, like I said to you, I'm not claiming to be a business mogul. I'm not claiming to know everything. I merely know that through hard work and dedication, and putting myself around good people, and having belief in myself and believing in what I'm doing, it's contagious, right? People around you will also start to believe, and if you can't believe in what you're doing and what you're working on, how do you expect anyone else to buy into what you're doing? It's impossible, right? And I think it's funny, you and I talked about that was working there. That was very much the culture there, and I was very proud to be an ambassador for Swiss, and that was the thing that shone through, especially with Radic. He believed in the product so much that it was undeniable how you could not believe in it, you know? So
that's right.
Yeah, you learn things, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's the key takeout for you, because there's a lot of businesses, you know, I mean, you've got the profile and backing, but we've got people registered with us all over Australia on areas that have been hit by bushfires, floods, you name it. But people are passionate about what they do. They're committed to what they do. They've got the love in what they do, which is exactly the sorts of things that the Buy Aussie Now is about. So, mate, you've nailed it on the head. Feel free to come over tonight and bring some soap with you in the nicest possible way. And we will catch up very soon. And I'll ask everyone watching tonight, please jump on and support the brand. Bondi Soap, again, another iconic Aussie brand that's really doing good things, employing people and keeping money here. So, mate, thank you very much. Great to talk to you. And I will see you, and I'll see you soon.
You're killing it. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Joe. See ya. Bye.